Hello, everybody. Welcome back to On the Come Up with KG. And you might be wondering, what's the special occasion? Why do we look all dressed up? Well, it's Valentine's Day.
Valentines.
And what are we doing?
Filming the podcast.
Because what else would we be doing on Valentine's Day? But how do you feel? How do you feel about the fact that we are here instead of like on a date?
I feel the same I do every year. Single, yeah, but I mean, at least this year's different. I'm filming with KG.
Exactly.
So.
Wait, so you've never had a Valentine before?
No.
Me either.
Yeah.
Oh my God, are we the problem?
Maybe. No, it can't be. It can't be true. I don't think we're the problem.
I don't want to believe that.
No, I honestly don't think we're. And I don't care what anyone says.
Yeah, I don't think so. I really don't.
I know we're not the problem.
I don't think so. I think these guys are the problem.
Actually, I take it back. I might have been the problem, when I was
in the past. Yeah, for sure. That's fair
gross
to admit.
Yeah.
But okay, so my thing is, what I genuinely feel like is going on the lowest key. I feel like guys are trying to wait till after Valentine's Day to ask me out.
So it's cheaper.
And they don't have to do too much. They don't have to do a whole flowers and extravaganza. Like somebody asked me on a date for Sunday.
Why not Wednesday?
Why not Wednesday? Valentine's
Friday. They still got the Valentine in store. Don't they?
Flowers. I'll still be expecting flowers. So You thought you was getting out of that? No.
They said it's long enough. Sunday's long enough.
By then, it was died down. Everybody forgot.
Gone from Walmart. Target don't got anything anymore.
Everyone forgot. It's not serious.
Right.
That's really how I feel. That's what I think they're doing.
I think so too.
So do you think, okay, here's a funny question.
Okay.
If your crush, let's say you had a crush, and they called you right now, right this second, and was like, yo, do you want to go out? What would you do? Would you leave me right now?
No, because I don't like that. If you was gonna call me to go out,
you should have been did it.
You should have been.
Yeah, because it's like, what are you calling me now for? Did your first plan bail on you?
Exactly. And it's like, okay, let's say I'm taking my friend.
Yeah.
Oh,
we're
me
all
and
going.
my friend. Oh, me and my friend. We're both your Valentines today.
I hope you brought extra flowers. No, seriously, I was thinking, what if my crush, let's say my crush, we're not gonna say obviously no names, but let's say he texts me right now and was like, KG, I want to take you out.
What are you doing?
I might have to be like, yo, Christina.
And I get it.
It was nice.
And I get it.
Yeah.
And I get it. There's no hate. This is my thing, right? We're women in our mid-20s.
Yeah.
We all got our plans, yeah? Ain't no way I'm gonna step in the way of a woman getting what she wants. I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah, but you're right on the other hand too. It's like, if you really wanted to take me out, why are you waiting till the night of?
But if you get what you need, then girl, do what you gotta do.
But I mean, that's the thing. I think I'm so past the whole, I'm not really lustful. So it's not oh yeah, you look good. You look good, but my mind's not going straight to the gutter. It's really you look good, let's build a family.
Right.
So it's even if you weren't on that type of time, what's the point of us even hanging out,
I wasn't even talking about that type of time.
Oh.
If he was gonna call you and be like, let's do something, however you need to do to get whatever you need in terms of a date, this or that. I'm not even talking about that.
To get in the door.
Exactly.
Got you. Yeah, for sure. I don't know. It's just interesting. Dating at this age. Okay, so my thing is I feel 25 now. And you know how they say when you turn 25, your frontal lobe
it's
fully develops, right? And I feel that's true because when it comes to terms of relationships and romantic relationships, even platonic relationships, which we talked about on our other episode, it's everything has to be more serious. I can't just be the same person where I could just have flings and situationships and go with the flow. I'm not built for that anymore.
I agree.
And I think it's just because that low level of maturity has finally connected. And also, I think biologically, our bodies are okay, no, have babies, wife, things that are out of our control, our biological makeup is wanting that now. So that correlates to like how you think in terms of relationships. So I feel like that's my biggest issue with dating now. It's like I just want serious, and no one is serious. Y'all are not serious.
I don't know what's going on. Seriously, I don't know what's going on, because it's like I want to believe that there are people that are serious, but like everyday men prove me wrong.
Exactly. Even when you think like they be mass manipulators too. It's like they'll play the role. And that's another thing I don't understand. Why are you going the lengths of acting like you want to be with me? Kids are running through that. Why are you going through the lengths of like pretending you want to be with me, bringing me flowers, taking me on dates, all this, that, and the third, and then you turn around and say, I'm not ready for a relationship?
I think they want something serious and long term too, but they don't want the full aspect of what that is. So they want something where it's like, oh, I want someone to come home to. I want to do something nice for someone. They want that
without the commitment.
So I know like a lot of people, or I say a lot like I know it, like a ton of people, but like there are a lot of girls I know that are in situationships. Because the men that they're with they're doing all the relationship stuff,
but they won't commit.
There's no commitment.
Yeah.
And it's just so it's very strange to me. Like, this is something that I feel like is a 22-year-old type of thing. Like,
yeah,
21.
It's very like
we're 25.
Yeah,
like
it's very delayed. Like it's very delayed with the guys, especially because, like I said, that even when at that age, 21, 22, that was all fine to me too. Because it's like, oh yeah, I can get all the perks of being in a relationship without actually being in a relationship. Sign me up.
Yeah.
But now when a guy proposes that to me, I'm like, ew.
It's
like,
weird.
What's the point? What was the point of us playing this game temporarily? And at the end of the day, I want women to realize that you get the short end of the stick when you agree to that always. Always. It doesn't matter if you feel like, oh, well, he's buying me flowers, he's taking me out, he's doing X, Y, and Z, and he won't commit to you, and you know that, you're getting the short end of the stick always, because no matter how you try to put it, no matter how you try to phrase it, you're going to eventually want that commitment. Our biological makeup is not meant for temporary situationships. And then especially when somebody's like dangling the idea in your face and then taking it away from you at their own convenience. And then they play you like you're delusional. Like, well, I told you I didn't want a relationship. That's always going to be their excuse. I already told you I didn't want that. And no matter how you feel when you spend so much time with the person, and like I said, they're dangling like this fairy tale into your face, you can't help but to see the potential. And then you end up hurt, and then it's like a never ending cycle. So my thing is like, why am I even going to agree to put myself in that situation where I already know the outcome for a temporary satisfaction? Like, oh, a companion. But that's what I'm saying, like 2024.
Let me speak on that real quick.
Okay.
I think that it depends on the woman, though. So, like, some women, like, they'll hear that, and then, yes, the man will dangle that in front of them. But they will be okay with that if they have their other options, too. Like, there are men, they don't want to commit because they have other options.
That's
okay,
true.
You have that one that'll give you the flowers, the roses, whatever. Give you anything you want. But then they're still looking like for that actual one. So it just depends on how you want to structure yourself. But obviously, like, there are people that don't want to be with multiple people or look for multiple people while being with someone. So it just depends. I don't know what's the right way.
Yeah, that's true. I think it's like, I guess it depends on what you want and like what you're doing. If you're very committed to like one person, because I know for me, it's very hard for me to just have the attention span to entertain multiple people at one time. Even if it's just like, that's why the dating apps are overwhelming for me, because I can't keep having the same conversation with multiple people over and over and over and over and over again. It's like, please. But yeah, I guess it just depends on the type of person you are. But I just feel like I said, honestly, I feel like that for the most part benefits the men more, because they get what they want out of it. I guess like if you're a girl, you get what you want out of it. But 9 times out of 10, I've never, from my experience, from any woman that I've known, seen a woman in a situationship with any man, and it's like, oh, I'm cool. Like, long term, they're like, oh yeah, it's cool, I don't care. It is like something gets intertwined.
Exactly.
Something eventually happens there where there's like, okay, there's an issue arises and it's always the woman who's presenting the issue, never hardly the man. So that's why I'm saying, like, it's mostly beneficial for the men, not the woman. But if you're on that type of time where you don't feel like you're ready to commit either, then
It might work out
by
for
all
them.
means,
Yeah.
you know. But
I don't know. I think it's I don't want to. I was gonna talk about specific men, but this is Valentine's Day. Let's not go into.
let's not spread hate.
Let's no hate. But it's just like it's a little frustrating, because like I see, peers that are finding what they want in men of the same age group, but it just feels like the men I want are not ready for that. And I think it's so strange because, and this is just my theory, I think everyone gets desperate at any age to get married. Like maybe for women, yeah, it's at 30 or whatever. But I think men start getting desperate at like 35, seriously. Because it's like at some point you're gonna realize that you haven't hit a milestone. Like it's gonna affect you somehow. Like for one thing, I don't know if you've heard this, like men that are not married are making less in their workplaces. Like there are those statistics like that. Like at some point it's gonna not look good. You're gonna also want kids too as a man, right?
Yeah.
You can't wait till you're 40. Like you also can develop fertility issues. Like
and also I know in certain workspaces, and especially in like prominent workspaces for men, other men don't take you seriously if you aren't married by a certain age. Like you're not. And I always, when I think about this, I always think about like Beyonce and Jay-Z, two of the most influential people in the entire world. Like as influential as Jay-Z is, I don't know if he'd be the business powerhouse that he was if he was not married, especially to Beyonce. But like if he weren't married, and I think that's what a lot of guys like. That's why you see a lot, like maybe a lot of the mainstream or like up and coming rappers don't necessarily see the importance of getting married. But when you have the rappers who have been in this industry for a long time and have climbed up, not even just the music industry, but like corporate ladders,
and even credibility wise,
they start finding it very important to get in a serious committed relationship. Kanye, Jay-Z,
even what's his name? Why am I blanking? Oh my god.
Who?
No, why am I blanking? Keep talking, I'll remember.
Okay, yeah, so like those guys, they start to realize how important it is and how important it is for your
Kendrick
peers.
Lamar.
He's married?
I'm pretty sure, or he has a long-term relationship, I think.
J. Cole, I know he talks about like how important it is for commitment and stuff like that. Like you start to realize those things, especially when you get into those spaces, because I mean, I'm obviously not in those spaces, so I don't know, but I've heard and seen stuff online where they say that the reason that is because for one, it shows that you lack structure and you don't have stability, and also commitment. Like you lack commitment. But then there's some guys who like they get married and they still cheat. So what does that really matter? It's just the image of it. Yeah, it's just the image of it. But then also I've even seen a guy. I wish I could remember his name, but he said he doesn't even respect other men until he knows that they're in a committed relationship. But not just committed relationship, but they're faithful. He's like, that's the only way as a man I will gain your respect because. Yeah, like I hate to give men the excuse that basically being faithful or being committed or being disciplined is hard for them, but it's just the truth. Like it's hard to stay committed to one woman, but it is an excuse for you not to do it. Like for you to just accept that fate and be like, well, it's my biological makeup. I can't be faithful to one woman. Of course I'm going to cheat. Like that's a very poor excuse and it's lame. Like you can train yourself to be disciplined and to be faithful the same way y'all train to go to the gym every day, the same way y'all train to play video games every day, the same way that you choose what you want to commit to, you can choose to be committed and faithful to a person and work on yourself emotionally and do the work. It's hard work, but to me that just proves like you're not built to do hard work.
Do you think that this is going to affect all of us as we get older? Because one thing I've been realizing is that a lot of us probably won't get married. God forbid it be us.
Don't say that.
God forbid. But like I am getting to a point where it's like, okay, I'm 25. I have to logistically plan for a life where I don't get married, you know?
Yeah, I think I've come to that conclusion too. I think it's sad to say, but I feel like just with everything going on, I've lost hope, and I feel like, well, maybe yeah, I do have to prepare for a life to where I won't get married and I don't have children. But that's not like a dooming matter to me because I always thought that was going to be my life up until recently anyway. Like I said, I feel like a large part of that is me, one, like growing a relationship with God, but also just getting older where my biological makeup is like, okay, kids. Like it's something beyond my emotional control. It's like hormonal and stuff like that that's making me have a little bit more desire to get married and reproduce. But I've never been the person to like, I know a lot of women, they dream about getting married and having kids their whole entire lives. That was not me. So I think that recently became something in my life, and I'm now like, okay, well, I can just go back to when I thought it wasn't gonna happen anyway. Like big deal, you know? So that's the harsh reality.
I think for me, I was the opposite. Like I was the kid that like only thought about like, oh, I'm gonna get married by 24, then I'll start having my kids at 25, and this, like that was me, you know? So being in a reality where that is nowhere near the truth is wild to me, like seriously crazy, you know? So I think it's been me trying to come to terms with like, okay, you got to figure out how to take care of yourself for real. Because I was also the type of person where it's like, once I get married, like I'm not gonna work. Like I'm only gonna raise my kids. Like, you know, but looks like I'm gonna have to work. I'm gonna have to work my whole life. Like, okay, we're fair, fine.
Let's do it.
I just gotta figure out the avenue of what that'll look like for me in the future because it just never crossed my mind. You know? So,
I mean, I don't think there's lost hope. I think because I know this kind of sounds cliche, but I feel like because of like the love that we know exists within us, it exists out there in the world. Like we're living proof that the desire for commitment and the desire for marriage still is among us. It's just harder to find. And you just have to be willing to find the people who are also willing to do the work, which I believe is difficult. So it's hard in general in our generation because of social media, all this stuff. I'm not gonna go into the details of that. Like I know there's probably a million people saying that. So it's hard enough as it is in our generation, period. But us being Black women and desiring Black men is even harder.
That's why I didn't want to go there.
No, it's the truth though.
But no, you're right. But I was just trying to like.
Yeah, I feel like. So the thing is, I'm gonna make it more sensitive, so they don't be like, oh, they hate Black men. No. Let me.
I love that.
Yes, that's the problem. I love them. So let me like break it down. So the thing is, Black people as a whole, especially Black Americans, we've suffered tremendously throughout history, and we have a lot of generational trauma, emotionally, economically. There's a lot of issues there, and there's a lot of making up that we have to do. So. One is having that realization. That's one thing. I feel like we've gotten there. We realize that systematically we've been oppressed for years, and that's hindered us from growth, socioeconomic. I don't know why I'm always trying to say big words. Socioeconomically, emotionally, financially, in all types of aspects, it's hindered us for generations to come. Okay, fair enough. But at some point, we got to take accountability and be like, okay, I'm my own person and I have the free will to make change, like the right changes that I want to see in my life. I feel like a lot of it is just like accepting the fate, like, well, this is how I was raised, this is how it's always been, this is what it's going to be, this is how I am. And a lot of it is also blaming it on America, like the history of America, and you know, it's systematic and we can't help it and blah blah blah. It's like we just accepted that, like, well, that's just how we are because that's how they made us and this is how it's always going to be. And no, we can change, we can work towards better, especially emotionally. Like, yeah, maybe you don't have the right tools to change, well, you do, but I'm not even gonna get into that. But like, change things on a larger scale for yourself economically or financially. Like, we're going to be oppressed in that matter for forever probably, but emotionally, to do the work to raise families and bring back Black nuclear families, we have the willpower to do that. And that's really where the core of the issue is. If you really want to talk about that, like, we don't have Black families, strong, healthy Black families. We don't see a lot of that. And we don't recognize that as a core problem. So it's just like whatever. And like I said, especially across the board for Black men and women. But in my personal opinion, I feel like I see a lot more Black women willing to do the work, going to therapy, talking it out, wanting marriage. Black men are just like, nah, I'm good. You know, like, I know so many Black men, like even my brothers will be like, I'm never getting married. So it's just like,
which is so sad too, because that's what they say now. But like, you know, that phrase where it's like, you're saying that now, but who's going to be around you to take care of you for real? Even not even just to take care. You're going to be alone. You're going to be alone when you're 40, 50. You're going to be alone.
yeah.
Because you're not just going to have what? You're going to have like a 20-year-old?
Well,
like,
they're okay with, but the thing is, they're okay with reproducing, but they're not okay with committing to a marriage. But they're okay to committing with a child.
Reproducing of it, it's like, why didn't you marry my mom? Like, what are you doing?
Because that's too big of a commitment, but a kid is not.
But I think that's the strange part, because it's like, at some point, this looks crazy. Because it's not like you're 20 and getting someone pregnant. You'll be 40 and getting someone pregnant? 50? 60?
But I mean,
no marriage? Come on.
But I mean, like a lot of Black American families are broken homes. So there's a lot of like single Black moms. That's just the truth. So that's what I'm saying. It's like, oh yeah, we can reproduce a Black woman. We can have children out of wedlock, but marrying them, too big of a commitment. But having kids, I don't have to be around for that.
Do you think that is going to perpetuate to the next generation? Because if it is, as you say, right, that the Black men of our generation or Black American men of our generation only want to reproduce, but the Black women are getting the help they need or getting into therapy and all that, they're going to eventually see, okay, we can't go after Black men how we'd want to, right?
Right.
So do you think that they'll start to be like, okay, our women are not going after us anymore, what do we do type thing? Or do you think they're going to stay complacent or go to somewhere else to get whatever they need?
So what I think is that Black women are going to start outsourcing. And that's going to, that's where it comes with. It's like, oh, Black women like men outside their race. But the thing is, like I said, is a lot of Black men are not recognizing that there's an issue, therefore not doing the work to solve the issue. And so when it comes to like wanting to get married and wanting to commit, I've seen research where Black men just right now are the hardest men to date because of those reasons. So if you really have desires to get married and so as a Black woman, as not even a Black woman, as a person doing the work to heal and to be in a serious relationship and to have healthy relationships, right? It's already hard enough to find other people, like I said, in our generation across the board who are on that same wavelength. Let alone you shrink that pool to specifically Black men because that's what you want. That pool is like this big.
Tiny.
So where it's healthy Black men who like your options are so limited. It's almost impossible. It's like 1 in a million, right? So then, okay, let's say I'm going to eliminate this factor of it has to be a Black man. I just want somebody who cares about me, who respects me, who's going to take care of me. Then they have to outsource. And 9 times out of 10, because generationally and traditionally, a lot of other races and cultures, marriage and a nuclear family is embedded in their culture. That's not the same for Black people, or as at least Black Americans. So it'll be easier to find somebody who wants that outside of our race. Because like I said, in almost every other culture, every other tradition, families are still like important and still the core of livelihood. And like I said, and especially Black American culture, that's just unfortunately not our reality.
Yeah. I will add this as a caveat to what we're saying right now. I don't even know if I use that word right.
I don't even know what that word means.
But I'll say this as being a devil's advocate. I think even in the cultures and the families where marriage is pushed and is the norm, there are serious issues that happen inside of them that will still scar everybody involved.
Very true.
So, and that's not to say, obviously a single parent household is better or worse or whatever, but it's just like,
just because they're married doesn't mean that it's the ideal situation.
Exactly.
Yeah, very true. I get that.
Yeah, because it's like, I know in a lot of African families, and actually I don't want to even say a lot because I know my family, I know some families, but I'll say in the ones I know or heard of as well.
You're touching your mic.
Sorry. But the ones I know of, it's like there's always a very serious issue happening in the family and you can't divorce.
Yeah.
You know, there's no leaving.
Yeah.
You know, and some people, it's worse too because like in some families, it's truly a community. People marry their in-laws, like, you know, it's like I marry my husband and my sister marries his brother type situation. So it's like, how are you gonna divorce? Like you can't. So it's just there's a lot of things that, you know, are positives and negatives. And,
for sure. It's not all just because you see like a marriage doesn't mean everything's all perfect. It doesn't mean that it's better than the other. But I think we should, like I
always
said,
strive for it.
Yeah, strive for creating families, healthy Black families. I think that would be something that I would look forward to in generations to come. And I don't say this to be like, oh, like I said, Black men are trash or Black people are trash or everyone's trash. I say this to point out a problem that I really feel like if we put forth the effort, we can work towards a solution.
Right. Let me ask you a question, Miss Host.
Okay.
Would you ever like date an African or like a Caribbean or like?
I have before, yeah. Ooh. I have before. Okay, so I don't really see. Okay, dang. How do I say this without y'all jumping down my? Okay, so I'm open to dating all Black men. I love my Black men, as I keep saying. So the thing that the difference that I realized between African American men and other Black men in the diaspora is just there's cultural differences. So how they treat women. I don't even want to say they treat women better because that's not true. But it's like the whole provider mindset lacks very much in the African American men community because a lot of us grew up in broken homes where we don't see men providing in our households. So it's not normal. Whereas in other countries or in other Black diasporas, that's still prominent, like the men is a provider. So I've noticed that, and I like that because me personally, I grew up in a 2-parent household where my dad was a sole provider for my household. So that's just what I'm used to. It's not, you know, people be trying to rack their brains about that, but like that's what I grew up knowing. So that's what I'm used to. That's kind of expectation that I have for the most part. You know, there's nuance. Don't want to get into that 50-50 debate. But to answer your question, yes, I would date anyone if they treated me well and I liked them and we were happy.
I love that.
So you guys, I'm single. I'm single. And okay, here's a question for you.
Okay.
Do you think, if you're being completely, brutally honest with yourself, do you think that you are ready and deserving of a good man?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. But it depends on what. So you said deserving of it?
Yeah, so I think that a lot of people want what they're not ready for.
Okay.
So let's say I'm here and I'm unhealed and I don't know how to act and I don't know how to treat people, but yet I'm over here looking for a man who's going to treat me well and take care of me to kind of like heal all those broken parts of me. And I feel like that's a lot of the situations with a lot of women. I'll be honest. I feel like a lot of women want what they can't even dish out. Do you think you're at a point to where you feel like what you're asking for, you can reciprocate is a better way of terming it?
I think so. Yeah, I do. Obviously, I have places where I can improve, but to even like go deeper in that answer or to my answer, I feel like I haven't been in enough relationships to get broken for real. Like, like obviously like there are relationships with your parents, with your friends, all that can be improved. And when you improve those, like obviously you improve. But like in terms of like, I need to heal from this man. He did something.
Yeah, it's like, girl.
I mean, like I don't have that experience. Like, yeah, I took a year off to heal from my ex. I didn't really take a year off. I just was dating and, I honestly needed like 3 months.
Yeah.
But and even then, I ended that relationship. So it's like, I think I'm ready, but like maybe there's something I can't see that.
Well, no.
I need to.
That's another thing too. There's certain things like I don't think you're ever gonna be fully healed.
Because I'm human. Like,
yeah, you're never gonna be completely healed, and I hate when people use that as an excuse to not be in a relationship with somebody. Like, just say you don't like that person enough, because some things are not going to be revealed to you until you're in a relationship.
Exactly.
So sometimes you need that mirror to really bring out the ugliest parts of you that you didn't even know were there. So yeah, I'm not saying like being completely healed, but I just feel like there was a time, at least for me, where I knew what I wanted, but I knew I wasn't even half of that person of what I was asking for. So I want somebody who's kind. I want somebody who's patient. I want somebody who's compassionate. I want someone who's generous. But me, I'm stuck in my ways. I do no wrong. You know what I mean? That's what I mean by that.
Do you even think that, even like to say, okay, do you feel like you're in a place to accept a good man? There are men that even if you're not in a good place, they still see you and you strive to be like them.
Yeah, that's very true.
So it's like, I don't even know, like I know people ask that, but I don't even know if that is even the correct question per se. So I don't know.
Yeah,
like,
there might be people willing to
go down to where you're at.
But it's harder to attract that, and it's a way harder relationship.
You think so?
Yeah, when you don't
I see it all
recognize.
the time.
Yeah, I do too. But it's 9 times out of 10 it's not healthy. You know, at least in my.
Oh no, it might not be healthy. It might not be healthy, but honestly, it's working for those two people.
Yeah.
Who am I to say like, oh, I touched it again. I'm like, who am I to say like, oh, like
what's right or wrong?
What's right or wrong? You know. So
yeah, I think because I know a lot of relationships like that too, where it's somebody who's like
it's very
genuinely
toxic.
very patient, and then there's another person, and it works for them. Well, it doesn't work. That's what I'm saying. It's just unhealthy though. That's so. Is it really working? Like it's just a very toxic situation.
It's true.
But you have somebody, and you have somebody who loves you. So I guess if that's what you consider working.
And it's also like I don't know what the process of that other person. Like maybe they are in therapy,
and maybe they do need that person.
Exactly, and that person is their stabilizer. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
yeah, it's all interesting. It's like it's difficult, but I guess it's just like you have to recognize what you're willing to tolerate in a relationship. And some people view people as projects.
Yeah.
So you see the potential in somebody, and you feel like you can fix them. And that was me for a long time. I was like, I think I can fix everybody. I think if you just let me, I'll fix you. And I still am kind of like that now that I'm talking about it. It's like, yeah, if you just let me, I can fix you. But that's not true. They got to want to fix themselves.
Yeah. But I think once they enter in that stage where it's like they want to fix themselves, then I think that where even if you're in that phase
you're not, there, but you're willing to, I think that's what it is. Like you're willing to accept the fact like, okay, I have some work to do and I'm willing to work towards doing that work.
You probably would be their push,
Exactly.
Like I'm also going through it and you are too, so it's okay.
Exactly. That's interesting. Chatting. I don't know. I guess like, I don't know what it would take. So, what's your type?
I was gonna ask you
If you could build a man,
build a bear, build a man.
if you could build a man, what would he look, act like? What would he just exude? If you could just build your own man.
I feel like I used to have an answer to this question, but as I get older, it's just changing, But okay, I'll go ahead and answer it. But if I could have what I wanted in a man, physically,
no, everything,
just everything. Okay,
just like imaginary.
I just need them to be like obviously the small things, generous, patient, all those things. But I want someone that listens to me. Granted, I also want to be able to listen to them. I want them to be
comfortable.
Like I want to be able to stand behind this person. I want to be able to be proud of this person. I want them to be loyal to me and I'm loyal to them. Like everything that I would want from them, I also want to give to myself for them.
Yeah.
So it's more so like, I'm just looking for me. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You want like a reflection of yourself.
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I meant by like, do you think you're in a place to where you want, like you're wanting to attract what you want? Because it comes to a certain point where you're like, okay, I have enough self-awareness to know I've done this work and these are the things that I've accomplished and worked towards for X amount of time. That's what I'm looking for in another person.
Exactly.
So that's what I meant by that question. Like, do you think you're deserving to like circle back? But yeah, that's better. But yeah, I think for me it's the same thing. Like patience, kindness, commitment. Like somebody who. So now I'm like looking for character traits. Or is this person, do they commit to things easily? Are they reliable? Because that's going to reflect in the relationship. Like you said, somebody who listens, somebody who feels comfortable sharing with me, vulnerability. And as far as looks, honestly, I'm not very like picky. Nah, don't. Now Shrek, don't come out. No, I'm just kidding. No, but I like looks. I'm not. Like I mentioned earlier, I'm not very lustful. So it's just like how you carry yourself. I mean, I have to be attracted to you to some extent, of course. But yeah, I guess like my overall type is like, I like nerdy men. I like nerdy, low key, funny dudes.
Okay.
That if I can summarize it.
Okay.
That's my type.
I think I like men who are nerds, but like they got a good build. And I'm gonna be so honest, I like a man with some cake. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Like I am so sorry. That is such a male thing to say, but it's so true.
I've never heard a girl say that before.
Really? Girl, you haven't seen it then. You haven't seen what I've seen. You gotta see what I see. But I think some of that too is like just experience wise, because like my ex had a so it's like he had a cat. Every time I say so like naturally I'm just like anyone like him like
No, I think that's crazy because I think we do get our type. Like as bad as it sounds, some of our type comes from our ex. Like your ex leaves you with bad things, but also things like
it's like I liked that though.
Yes, I did like that because, like I said, the whole nerdy, low key, but really fun, good sense of humor. That comes from past relationships like that. I just vibe better with that. I think maybe it's because I'm like, I do a lot of public things. Like, I don't want you too public either. You know, like, I don't feel like, you know, like, I don't know. I think it's a nice balance when you kind of just let me do my thing, but I don't know. It's complicated.
I will say that too. I want somebody that is not like my personality. Like, I want them to be way more low key. But you can be a little quiet. Like, that's okay.
I like quiet. I like shy.
Like, they don't need to be shy. I can't do shy. Like, I need you to talk.
But I mean, to me.
Okay. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
When you get comfortable around people, like more introverted, I guess. Like when you get comfortable around people, you talk, but you're not just out there like, hey, you're hugging everybody.
Exactly. No, that's me. That's me. Please be the opposite. That's me. That's my thing.
Yeah, but I think it's very attractive when guys when your guy gets along with people really well.
Yes, exactly.
I think that is so attractive when people are like, oh, he's a cool dude. Like, I know.
It's like
I know
an
how to
introverted extrovert. That's what I want.
Yeah. He's a good people person. I don't know. We just speaking it, you know. So we're gonna see. I want to say it on camera, but at the same time, if it don't happen, and we sitting right here doing the same thing next year.
No, KG. No, KG. The thing is, this is the thing. I think that last year, I don't think I was very intentional with my dating. Maybe closer to the end, maybe. But this year,
it's time to get serious.
That's what I'm saying. If we're sitting here next year and we're not in relationships, God is my witness. I tried.
Very true. Very true.
So that's what I'm going to be focusing on this year. I'm going to try my best.
Yeah, that's why I'm at a place too, because where I know that for me, I have another question. Oh my gosh. Ooh. I know for me, I get very easily turned off. And I'm just like, oh, and then that's why I'm trying to gauge now, like, am I being extra? Like, should I extend a little bit more grace for this situation?
For the situations you've told me, no.
I'm like, am I being extra? But so that was just gonna ask you, what are your icks? Like, what is just like something that a guy does when you're like, no, I'm done.
And be completely turned off?
Yeah.
Literally, I found one the other day that I was able to verbalize, and I was like shocked.
What?
So, oh God, how do I say this? I don't like when there is like, you know, it looks like you like me or whatever, but like you're not fully initiating things.
So when guys don't take the lead.
Yeah, like
when they're kind of passive.
Yeah, like why am I like and granted, like obviously I think in our culture it's been kind of pushed that men are the ones that will want something more physical. But it's like, why am I the one that has to initiate something? Or why am I the one that you know, oh, you want to like go get something to eat. Like, why is that me? And it makes me be like, oh, you don't freaking like me.
You don't like me?
You don't freaking like me, I guess. So I'm gonna leave, but you'll still hit me. Like, I get confused. And I've noticed that gives me major ick. Yeah. Yeah.
I have more like childish ones. Not childish, but so yeah, not being serious. One thing that really annoys me, this hits a nerve. I don't know if it's an ick. It's more just like why are you doing that? When a guy texts me and just like, he texts me and then I text back and then they just never say it. Like I haven't talked to you in a long time. They'll be like, hey, thinking about you, text me. And then I'm like, oh yeah, how are you? Nothing. Like, what was the point? Why did you even bother me? But as far as icks, y'all, I have a list. One of my icks, I'm sorry, this is gonna hurt a lot of y'all feelings. I might get canceled for this. But men. Listen to me. Come
okay, I thought that you were about to stop right there.
No, look, come close. Stop blowing hookah smoke into your iPhone cameras. I don't want to see you at the cup.
Ew, they had the filter on too. They had the filter on.
With sexy red in the back.
But that's our generation though. The men are sassy.
Bro, please, I know you guys be getting sad. Like, why y'all think everything's sassy? But that right there, like, if you're gonna smoke hookah, don't do it in the camera. Just do it the vibes, you know? Because we've been in places where the guys are like blowing hookah in our face.
Girl, yeah, and they're breasting too. The audacity. At least put a mint in.
Like, you're over here blowing bubblegum mint in my face, and you think that's cute. Another thing too, on that same note, don't ever let me see you posting a video of somebody pouring alcohol in your mouth. Not you driving the boat. Why are you driving the boat in 4K? A lot of these things, it's like, you don't have to post it. Because now I'm looking like,
why'd you post it?
Why did you post that? That's not cute. I'm trying to think of another ick.
I have one.
What's one?
Whenever they, like, you're just talking to them and they send like a really sexual text.
Oh yes. Or anything sexual in like the first initial conversation, you're done. Okay? You're done. I cut somebody off for that recently. Somebody was trying to ask me like, somebody asked me, what's the craziest thing you've ever done? So I'm thinking like crazy, like smash somebody's windows or egg somebody's car. And I'm like, I've never done anything to that extent. I might cut somebody out, but that's as much as I'll go. So I'm telling him like, yeah, I don't really get down like that. And I'm like, what about you? He answers and says, I did the do in public during broad day. Like, you just wanted an excuse to tell me that story for what? Mind you, this is our first conversation.
I feel like they'd be doing that to gauge like what you'll say.
Yeah, exactly.
They'd be like, oh, is she down for real? It's freaking weird to me. Even, okay, so I just stopped messaging this dude yesterday, right? And it was an easy conversation. I feel like there's something in my eye, sorry. But there's an easy conversation. Everything was going great. He's cool, right? He texted me because, he's very like a fitness guy, like eating like, healthy, nut, whatever. And he texted me. He was like, what are you eating for dinner? Was the first text message. Second text message was like, I hope that when I come home, you're ass up doing your cardio for me. All this. I said, what the don't know you. We've only been talking for 4 days. What is wrong? I haven't sent him nothing sexual.
And on that note too, guys, men, please stop adding women in your close friends unprovoked and posting freaky memes and freaky...
I know who you're adding.
No, it's a lot. There's something that we mutually have in mind, but like he ain't the only one. Trust me, it happens to me all the time. That is the quickest way to get me to unfollow or block you. Okay. So yeah, like don't put me in her clip. Like that is sexual harassment for real. Like I will report you to the people.
Yep. And
you're gonna be put on that list.
The IG police.
Oh wait. Yeah. But yeah, so like it's okay. It's gonna be our last year being single.
Last year.
We're gonna put ourselves out there.
Yes.
We're gonna get off these dating apps because no.
I don't think it's it.
No, me either.
This is not it.
This is not it. It's not natural. It's not normal.
This is not natural.
The people on Hinge are unhinged.
Tell it to them. Tell the company.
No, they're unhinged. Like
they're not.
They need a background check on these people. They need some type of assessment because it's just crazy to me. Like, why would you get on a dating app for dating and then start talking to somebody and be like, oh, I don't really have the time to commit to dating someone right now.
Dude, that's why they have like, what is it called? It's like the people that used to be on Tinder. Tinder's no longer cool. Then they went to Bumble. Bumble's no longer cool. Now they're at Hinge.
Yeah. Bro,
Like,
before Hinge was like the better dating app. Now it's just a mix of all the weirdos.
Trash. It's trash. It's really trash. I don't think I've ever had one serious thing from Hinge. I think I met my ex on Bumble, actually. Now that I think about it.
No, I had like a situationship from Hinge. That's the only thing that like came out of Hinge. I got a situationship from Hinge, and he was no bueno. So, I'm done with the dating apps. I'm done with everything. Like y'all, not y'all, because some of y'all be a little weird, but
Yeah.
we single, y'all. So.
Like
we're healthy. Well, we're trying to be healthy.
Yeah.
We be in the gym. We got lives. We got hobbies.
Literally.
That's another thing. It's like, ladies, find you some hobbies. Find you some things to do. Find some fulfillment outside of men, because that's what really helps me not choose to entertain trash men. Is because I have so much other stuff that can occupy my time that I don't even need to like deal with any BS. So,
honestly, I feel like that's also why a lot of women are like evolving because it's like
we're doing our
because what else are we gonna do?
Yeah, we can't deal with y'all.
So it's like I just gotta get better. Like that's about it.
I gotta work on me. And then the lame dudes, I'm telling you, every single time after a heartbreak or after somebody's done me dirty, I leveled up. After me and my ex broke up, I started the podcast. After me and my little situation just stopped talking, I started DJing. Like every time somebody does me wrong, I just unlock another level.
It's like, actually, someone come and do me wrong again real quick.
No, actually, I need that. Somebody please.
Because,
no, I'm just kidding. No.
Oh, yeah, no.
But like, for real though, every time somebody does me wrong, I unlock another level. So yeah, that's the way you should go about it.
Amen.
Don't let these dudes bring you down.
Amen.
Let them bring you up, sister.
Up.
But y'all, we actually do have plans tonight. We're about to go to
Don't tell them.
We're going out.
Thank you.
To a nice little restaurant, Galentines.
Galentines.
So thank y'all for tuning in, and we'll see y'all next time on the Come Up with KG. Bye.